Se takas himaa. Gents, welcome. It is SA time. I hope you're ready for this one because Gorillaz-Pride, an unknown team, our only series for Division 2 is going to be kicking off. And this one is going to be a gruesome battle, at least in terms for Gorillaz-Pride, who want to take that shot at Division 1. They just need to win this one and potentially the next one to hold on to maybe the second place, maybe the first place, maybe force out tiebreakers. But right now for Unknown, we already know they're out. Let's see if they can bring out something spicy out of this one. Here with T-Panda and Kips on the cast and Kips. What we are kind of looking at here is potentially... I think I'm not going to be giving any sweet coating on this one. This might be a runover for Gorillaz-Pride, but in what way do they accomplish this? Because they still have some bets on the line.
They do, yes. An unknown team has at the very least not fallen apart in the laning stage every single time. So the real tempo shift is going to have to come in the transition in the mid game. And maybe if unknown team lets go a little bit, now that they're officially out, they pick something funky, they experiment a little bit, they might be able to, at the very least, give G-Pride a bit of a run for their money. I would love to see unknown actually take a map here. It would be their second map this season, but I don't have very high hopes.
They've only taken one map so far, and I think the biggest statistical difference between these two teams is the kill average. For Unknown, it is 12.1. For Gorillaz-Pride, it's 32.4. So that's a huge difference between these two. We have a draft going on, so let's see if there's going to be some changes between the approach from both of these teams. Now, obviously, a kill-heavy lineup is something that you would want to look for as Team Unknown to match up to par with Gorillaz-Pride, and that is definitely a brawler hero with Granny brought up first.
Yeah, we're looking for those short cooldowns. We're looking for maybe some bulky heroes as well. This does feel a little bit like a strength hero favoring meta, especially in the side lanes. Not on mid. I don't think we have a single strength hero mid, actually. But not uncommon to see two side lane cores and a support all be strength. So yeah, Snapfire completely within expectations here.
Snap has been picked 5 times by Gorillaz-Pride so far, and it's actually surprisingly their tied first most picked hero with Lina. But the difference is Lina has 100%, Snap has 40%. So they've only won 2 out of their 5 games on Snapfire. So wonder what they're going to bring out up with this one. It has been played as a 4 by Dismar. I wonder if they want to shift things up or just keep playing the Snap as their +4, because he has played all of them so far.
This is where an unknown team would really like to pick up that Nyx Assassin, but unfortunately it is banned. So they're going to have to answer this Snapfire in a different way. And usually you need 2 heroes to like properly shut a Snap out of the game, like properly evade her, one to save people and another one to actually stop the ult, for example. But that is near impossible. Unknown team decide to go with their own strengths and pick up the Earth Spirit, who can, by the way, cancel the Snapfire ult from pretty far away.
I was thinking about when you mentioned the word strengths of this team, I was kind of hoping to see the IO come out, because it did go through the draft, but this could still be an IO 5 for feeling if Moonlight ends up playing this Earth Spirit, so they could still combo it up with their safe lane. But right now, it does feel like it's going to be a support Tidehunter with the Earth Spirit, unless they want to duo this up in their off lane and already reveal what is their safe lane. What is their off lane going to be. They still have that 3rd pick before Gorillaz-Pride and counter it with a carry pick most likely. So we'll see what kind of approach they actually take in the second phase. But what do you think, Kips, about this Tidehunter pick here with the Earth Spirit?
I think I like it. Tide is one of those heroes that will do decent in any lane, especially if you have an Earth Spirit and you can actually pull waves for him. Earth Spirit is really very good at that. Of course, there are a couple of heroes that shut the Tide completely out of the lane. Things like Drow Ranger, for example, but you wouldn't want to pick up those heroes super early, so Gorillaz-Pride is just not going to do it. And I like this from these guys. They often play all of these, how to call it, these medium picks where you don't know if it's going to be a 5, a 4, or a 3.
Yeah.
I'm kind of privately hoping for a +3 Tusk. Seen Crit play that in IDXL, excuse me. That's, I mean, it's Crit, right? I think that man can make anything work, but it did give me some hope for +3 Tusk again. I'd really like to see it. It's such a fast-paced pick. You get a lot of minus armor
10
between the
seconds
Walrus
to
Punch
pick.
and the Snapfire if she goes for the little shredder points, right?
5
It
seconds.
is, yeah.
Hurry,
But
hurry.
if I'm just looking at straight up numbers, I'm looking at Genek, who has played 4 games of Tusk so far. 3 out of 4 have been victories from the Foz 5 position. So I do like that they kind of open up with their supports first, and now Unknown is just going to be banning out the core section. I think G-Pride in total has had the smallest hero pool. Yeah, that's also true. 25 heroes compared to every other team having at least 33 to 38. So they are by far the smallest hero pool. So I think that's a bit of an advantage for Unknown team as well, that if this team so far has been playing only the same heroes from time to time, basically
Only
a
10
5
seconds.
hero pool per player, you can target one, but you can't necessarily
5
target 2 or
seconds.
3
Hurry,
separate
hurry.
players here in this second phase. But at least you can get rid of the most annoying ones or the best performed heroes that they've played so far.
Radiance ban.
True, but exactly a 5 hero pool is. I think 5 heroes is all you need. Honestly, it's going to be very hard for them to completely ban you out. And you're always going to be playing a signature. Like if you find sort of a composition that works, I really enjoy teams with very small hero pools
10
because
seconds
these
to
players
pick.
usually are very in tune
Raz
with each other.
ban.
They've played this combination before, and it just looks and feels good.
Yep, they do have to be prepared for it at least. At least if they've been playing something in their scrims, if there's something they've been playing in the pubs, for example. I think a good example was with
Only
the
10
off-lane
seconds.
Jakiro we saw like a week ago in Eastern Europe. That was something that their
5
stand-in
seconds
player had
remaining.
been playing in pubs, and the opponent's team, they lost with the off-lane Jakiro. But I remember in the winner interview we talked about it, were you surprised about the off-lane Jakiro pick? They said, well, we did look into his recent games, and he had just played on off-lane Jakiro an hour ago before we started the official game, so we thought that it's already going to be off-lane, so we swapped our lanes with our off-lane and our safe lane. It's like, yeah, okay, makes sense. So you're kind of prepared for every situation, and that also tells that they have done a very good job scouting and preparing for the series.
hmm Yeah, it's one of the few blessings of the DPC, right? At the very least, you have time to prepare for every single player, and every single team.
Dire team pick.
Well, we're gonna get Lesh and Batrider plus the pesky annoying Weaver band from Gorillaz-Pride. So now heading over to the second phase. This is probably going to be the pick that tells if this Tidehunter is going to be a 3 or a 5. Unless they decide to pick a carry now. But picking a carry into Snapfire
10
Tusk and
seconds to
not
pick.
knowing what Gorillaz-Pride is going to be answering it with. Maybe they
Nah.
have like some
5
idea. I
seconds.
think it's a
Hurry,
very
hurry.
surprising one. And I do feel like this Jakiro now being picked up, well... is that a 3 or a 5, Kips?
No, they've been making defending bans. Excuse me, my English is not working today. For their Tidehunter here, so this is a +5.
Only
Jakiro,
10
sadly.
seconds.
All right, so a first-time
5 seconds
Tidehunter for
remaining.
Unknown, a first-time Jakiro for Unknown. So let's see if it ends up being feeling with the Jakiro and Greedy going with the Tidehunter. Io is still in the pool, but does feel like nobody's going to be grabbing it at this point, as the Legion Commander brought up by Gorillaz-Pride does seem to be going into the potential offlane. Could be a support
Only
too if they
10
feel like putting
seconds.
something, some mix into it. But we talked about the
5
Snapfire
seconds
Tusk being
remain.
the support duo for
Dire
Dismar and
team are
Genek.
now picking.
Admiral Kunkka.
Kunkka.
Yeah, that could still be mid or safe lane. Now and Teo both play it.
Yep. So we have this Kunkka here with the boats going to help so much versus the Tidehunter Ravage. You just make sure that everybody's boated up, nobody dies during the
10
Ravage,
seconds
hopefully.
to pick.
And then Legion Snap is both like, it's such a strong lane,
5
right? They have so
seconds.
much
Hurry,
magic
hurry.
burst if they want to between the overwhelming odds and any of the Snapfire spells. And then you get the Cookie into Jewel, as well as later on some nice minus armor from the Snapfire as well. It feels really good, these two heroes together. So I really enjoyed that pick right there.
Pretty useful too when you talk about Earth Spirit initiating in. You've got press the attack to remove silences and slows and maybe even stuns from Ravage and also from Jakiro. Removing all of those dots is pretty useful because they're both very cooldown dependent, both Earth Spirit and the Jakiro. So really like the LC. And then you have Kunkka who's kind of like, well, I can just throw in a boat and all that dot damage. Even that gets reduced by a lot. And Unknown team felt like they did need some kind of tempo control. They don't really have tower damage right now, so that's probably going to be their last pick. Someone who really hits down buildings. But I do like the Storm Spirit picked up to some extent. Still, I favor Gorillaz-Pride right now.
Same here. The Storm Spirit is the playmaker behind a lot of enabling abilities here, right? Unknown team actually has a lot of stuns and some minus armor to offer. This is a very good game to initiate in as a Storm Spirit. The only risk here, of course, is that you're going to be initiating into a possible
5
duel,
seconds remain.
which is much the same as being the sole initiator into a Bane with a Fiend's Grip. It is
Radiance ban.
very, very dangerous, and you need to play a good vision game in order to compensate for that. And I've seen Storms fall at the first hurdle here and just never get a game off in situations like this. So it's a risky pick in that regard, for sure.
Well, I think sometimes riskiness is also the way to go, because you kind of have to find a good balance between are you going to be playing
5 seconds.
more
Hurry.
risky, or are you playing like more aggressive than you usually are? I feel like Storm Spirit is also a hero that you kind of have to push on the limits to get the best out of this hero, and then the rest of your team can just play reactive. Check up on the moment, live on what's happening. Jakiro is kind of a hero that always has
Live,
to
laugh, love.
anticipate. So it's like an anticipating hero. So I kind of like that you have this reactiveness plus the aggressiveness provided by
10
both of these
seconds to
spirits.
pick.
Yeah, I think that you're completely right
5
in
seconds. Hurry,
showing this team
hurry.
as a reactive team. Unknown here, if
Radiant
Gorillaz-Pride
team pick.
initiate into them, this is also a very hard Legion Commander game with all of the disables and all of the damage that she's going to be running into. So you're completely right there. There might be some puzzles to solve here for both teams if they want to take the fight.
Gotta find the right pieces of the puzzle for
Only
sure.
10
Gorillaz-Pride,
seconds.
they've got plenty of time as they are picking out their last
5
one.
seconds
Luna Gyro
remaining.
banned away from them. They got rid of the Wraith King and the Razor. I think these are very reactive picks. Does this mean we get to see a Morphling here?
Dire team are now picking.
No, we
No,
actually
safe
get to see
lane.
a safe lane Kunkka with Invoker. All right, going into mid.
Yeah, and Invoker is just such a safe, stable pick here, as well as that with all of the Quas Wax that we're seeing right now, Invoker is also very fast. Between Legion, Kunkka, and
Only
Invoker,
10
Gorillaz-Pride
seconds.
definitely have hit all of the conditions for that high-paced, high-kill game that we were talking
5
about all the way at the
seconds
start of the
remain.
draft.
Also adds up having that nice combo too. Even if you don't have Sunstrike right away
How
over
badly
the
did
top
they
of the bat
ruin
of the
your
start of the
strategy?
game, you still put your X-Sword full after you put your early points into Quaswex. So you still have Sunstrike dual, which works nicely. And Snapfire, obviously, with the Mortimer's Kisses. Tusk is able to go in. Kunk is able to go in everywhere. Invoker builds up and adds that extra control. So I like the way that they work it out. But at the same time, you see this Drow pick come out from Unknown team. You're looking at, well, they don't have these Centaur Axe-type heroes who just blink on top of me and kill me there. But then there's still the LC, there's still the Tusk, but Unknown, as we already discussed their draft, they have that reactiveness, they have the Tidehunter, they have the Jakiro, the Earth Spirit. They're all capable of coming in to the rescue and help out the Drow when he is or she is getting jumped on. So there's some reasoning behind this hero pick. Obviously not the best one necessarily. You need to get a very good Drow game to really punish Gorillaz-Pride early, plus keep this hero alive so that she can escalate in between the 20-30 minute marker.
Yep, completely agreed here. It fits very well with the reactiveness of their draft, indeed. She does not have like a proper big frontliner apart from the Tide. I guess the Tide is enough here. Like you can always disengage as a Drow while the Ravage is going off, and then the Tusk will necessitate her picking up a full Hurricane Pike.
And if you think
But apart
about
from that,
if you think about the laning stage Kips, Jakiro Drow versus the LC Snapfire, by the looks of it, you've got a lot of slows against you, so you might have to go for the early point and press the attack. That takes away from your trading potential against the Drow and the Jakiro.
Yeah, but you could see that most of the ranged carries were already banned out by both sides, really wanting to not let their offlaner get clinked away at like that. But Unknown says, you know what? Screw it. We're gonna go with the Drow Ranger anyway. They think it's too fragile. We think that it's the right tool for the job, and this LC will indeed have a harder lane because of it.
But in the end, Gorillaz-Pride has shown that they're one of the most capable teams here in the second division of South America, which you are watching right now, with Gorillaz-Pride holding it to third place, 4 wins, 1 loss, and Unknown team on the dire side, no wins, 5 losses. Hasn't been guaranteed to drop out yet, because if they can still, well, if they could win this series, they might, 1, demolish Gorillaz-Pride's chances of going into the upper division. 2, they still have a second opportunity to fight for tiebreakers about elimination. So this is the day, this is the time to shine if you're an Unknown fan or if you're an Unknown player.
Well, Argius has already collected his first highlight,
30
waiting
seconds
in
to
the
battle.
corner, dodging out this curve around gank attempt, and instead it's going to be Feeling who takes the brunt.
Yeah, because he didn't necessarily run into the opponents and was able to dodge them around doesn't mean that the Jakiro is going to be doing exactly the same. So make that an easy first blood for Gorillaz-Pride. They're happy with that. Spamming those voice lines.
And I'm curious to see the Tau Invoker again. It is a hero that he plays quite often. Oh no.
Well, he thought he was safe. Doesn't look like he's gonna be in the end. Gorillaz-Pride find a second, and the Drow, the one who dodged, ain't the one dodging anymore.
Caster Curse.
Caster Curse.
I,
I
I'm,
guess
I'm blaming him for this one. He knew they were right there.
we were already off the hook for a while. It's not like it happened right away after that.
This is how you cast, by the way. You blame the players. That goes over
Exactly.
very well with everybody.
And I love how Genic is actually staying in here for quite some time, hoping that maybe they extend a bit too far. They can maybe look for another kill with the tag team. But really, they don't have the stuns or the slow, so I think the Tusk is going to be teleporting back to the spot lane in the end. Kunkka was fine to start things off with, but Greedy also kind of addressing the situation for himself too. Moonlight's already going to be grabbing the creep wave. This is something that Genic kind of needs to block. And he also grabs the creep wave. He wants to connect it with the Earth Spirit's wave. Are they going to do it in the river? Might as well do it in the river.
Throughout the course of the DPC, we've seen these creep waves, especially on the bottom lane, meet everywhere but on the lane.
All the good
Or at least
stuff.
not behind the tier 2 at this time.
Yeah. All the goodies usually happen in the water. Might as well stick there for a bit. Kind of thinking about this top lane now. Getting the first blood on the Jakiro. Getting a second kill as well on the Drow Ranger. That kind of that enabled this LC a little bit more. And now they're actually able to play aggressive too when they hit that level 2. Seeing the Cookie Shredder combo come out. And every time Feeling is trying to get something out, they also get hit, and that is also Moonlight dropping in the bot lane. So the Kunkka picking up a kill with the help of the Tusk.
I was watching that. Earth Spirit, still level 1, does not get to roll out there of the level 2 ice shards. That was exactly the same timing. Level 2 for the supports into a kill.
And onto the Kunkka they go, but 2 points in Anchor Smash, no point in Gust.
Hello.
Gush in this game. We actually have Gust and Gush both in this game, so my apologies if
Congratulations.
I end up mixing them up.
I want to point out something, by the way, that I was going to do already, but we were rudely interrupted by the Drow dying. Tao is not known as a big Invoker player. He plays Invoker a lot, but his results are mixed, to say the least. And right now, he is getting clobbered in the lane by Sol.
He is. That's a good point. 9-21. Wow, that's actually huge. What has Sol been eating today? Like, this is a morning series for the SA players. I think it's like 1 p.m. or something like that local time. Maybe even 12 p.m.
Yeah, it's afternoon, right? Early afternoon. And
Yeah.
he must have put something real good in his cereal this morning.
I'm thinking this man hasn't eaten any cereal. He's just gone straight for the dinner. Getting up the main courses.
I think Tao is the main course.
Tao seems to be the main course for sure. Invoker's going to be having some time to catch up, but for Storm, this does also enable a potential situation where, well, at least XP is almost tied up, so you don't necessarily get to see the situation where the Storm gets to rotate and Invoker doesn't reply to it. They're both going to be fairly close to each other's with levels, but I wonder if this Invoker wants to catch up and farm instead and allow this allow the Storm Spirit to make the rotation. Heavy damage coming in from Argus. I feel like he's trying to dodge the cookie, but at the same time, it looks like he's trying to pathfind his way back to the tower. So instead, ends up tanking every single right click from the LC, and they get the kill on the Jakiro. Make it 4 for Gorillaz-Pride, and still 0 for Unknown as they try to attempt onto Neo on the Kunkka. He's down to 150. He's X-marked the Tidehunter, so he ain't getting any closer either, denying this kill opportunity as well.
Too much to worry about with this scoreline as long as the Drow doesn't die more and as long as the Tidehunter gets to play all the way up in the face of now.
And here comes Genek.
He's leading in this, yes, as well.
But the damage to this both, but just insane. You've got that plus 45 damage from the tag team, and these guys are just brawling this Jakiro like it's not even a strong support. Jakiro's usually hard to kill, but this one's a different type of Jakiro.
Yeah, Jakiro's tanky. But also definitely slow, and they have been capitalizing on that really hard. And now Genek is mid again. Sol scanned him out the previous time, and I think he has his suspicions. Jakiro is actually pinging as well. It's like, this Tusk, don't trust him, man.
They jump the Drow.
He's on you.
They do get the cookie stun, but Drow also gets the Gust out just in time. While in bottom, we see the Gush being used by Greedy for the slow, and they finally get the job done. They've been tipping this Tidehunter, so now it's their time to turn in the favor. Top, though, Drow's gonna get trapped, and Arceus is gonna die, and Gorillaz-Pride is coming out strong. Despite this Storm Spirit getting a lot, they're winning 2 out of their 3 lanes currently.
Under fire.
Are they though? Are they though? Because this Tidehunter is definitely ahead of the Kunkka as well. They have been sacking now a little bit in order to give this roaming freedom to the Tusk. And I think we're seeing here like the appeal of the roaming playstyle, right? Is that you can make all of these kills and have all of this threat onto the mid lane especially. Even if there's no kills happening, this still inhibits the Storm from farming. But the dual lanes on the sides are so strong nowadays that you usually lose the lane where the roamer leaves.
Now the Invoker, they really want to make this Drow suffer. Invoker with the haste rune, diving under the tower. Here comes Genek, here comes Dismar. Everybody's TPing in, but they're too late for it. Poor Drow, and not even just poor, but absolutely poor. No money and feeling bad at the same time. What can Unknown do? They've got 4 heroes around them, and they are going into the trees. Earth Spirit hasn't been spotted, but they see the Jakiro. Gonna get jumped on with the Cold Snap, and poor Jakiro just can't get a single spell out. There's the Ice Path. LC walks in. Doesn't have duel. Is only 5.5 right now, but another kill for Gorillaz-Pride, and I don't usually do this, as we're only 7 minutes in, and you don't want to break my usual 8-minute rule, but we are looking at net worth right now. We are looking at Invoker being ahead of this Storm Spirit by a mile. Even if it was behind in CS.
Which is wild, right? But now he also has earn charges. So his game is on, and the Storm Spirit, he has a Soul Ring. He's going to be finishing up his treads, but he does not have nearly as big of a power spike as this fast Quaswex Invoker. So it's really all up to the Tidehunter right now, and they're coming for him.
Yeah, they're going for him.
He's got Unknown has
1 point in Kraken Shell. He ain't gonna live. He's gonna try and turn around. Goes for the Tusk, gets the kill. Soul will be there. Both will connect onto the Tidehunter, and he's taking a beating. And will fall with the next right click coming out from now. But a nice Vortex into the Ice Path. Feeling gets the dots out, gets some damage onto the Snapfire, and we do get Kara. And Kara's got a duel already. He's got Soul Ring too. They're trying to walk on the Storm Spirit. Kunkka's gonna be there, not trying to body block the LC. Walks past them. There's the duel. Ice Path will come out too, and the Cookie stun to follow up. And this Storm Spirit is in big trouble, but is able to get the jump out with the Soul Ring. And now Feeling on the run. That level 3 Jakiro slowly getting back under the tower. Frozen the Ice Path is gonna stun 2 of them, but is it gonna be enough because the Tidehunter's TPing in. He gets the slow from the Gush onto the LC, but this LC is going to be a difficult kill indeed. Gorillaz-Pride make it a 2-for-1 trade. Big plays.
The Ravage spent. G-Pride can run at any tower they want now, any hero they want. The big reactive threat is gone for now. And run they shall smoke up in the mid lane.
They want to play constantly aggressive here against Team Unknown. Getting the kill on that Storm Spirit, sorry, not getting the kill on that Storm Spirit was a situation basically for Gorillaz-Pride that if they can shut this hero down, like they have shut down this Drow, they buy themselves so much time. And Argius, he is reading some moves here, but not enough. Not enough.
He got red in return, like a book. At least Feeling gets the ward.
Yeah. Yeah, it's that's what we're looking at. Slight relief on a D ward by Jakiro being the good thing for them while they're losing heroes almost everywhere. I kinda love to watch this brawling Dota once again because Eastern Europe in this last week has been like, oh, we got first blood at 8 minutes. Wow, we're lucky.
Oh, poor you. It's interesting because that's what the Americas used to be, right? Especially in North America.
I talked about that tangent you said about the NA being like that in the last DPC season, and now they've gone on a complete turnaround, and now it feels like East Europe is the one where everybody's playing super conservative, focusing on GPM above anything else. Yannick, no snowball. Watermiss Kisses is going to be thrown in. Storm's going to have to do some dodging work here, but here comes the Drow, and a decent fight here because Drow gets a kill. Sorry, Soul is the one who actually get it. Unfortunately, Argius doesn't pick that one up, but is level 6. The Drow's able to jungle. Look at hero level. Drow is actually the 4th lowest currently.
Oh no.
Support Drow.
Question mark? Because the Jakiro has been in our lane soaking EXP. He could not leave. He needed to tank the kills.
Nice dodge. Mike's taking a heck of a load of damage here. Does get the Magnetize out. Meanwhile, they kill the Tidehunter in bottom. They're going to get the kill in the Earth Spirit too. And Soul intervenes now with the Invoker dropping low. Dust has been used too. They need to get this kill. It looks like they will get this Invoker, but it's going to be a tough one. They spent every little bit of resource for this. And Invoker's still alive. Finally dies as Neo does get the Torrent onto the Storm Spirit. And it just took them way too long. And a Tidebringer used up on the Catapult to take almost this complete HP pool off of the Jakiro. And another one for Gorillaz-Pride.
This Invoker already has a Spirit Vessel finish. That's 250 health extra plus 2 armor. He was not going down easily, and that sort of brings us to, hey, you remember we were talking about Strength Heroes patch? There's 4 of them on G-Pride. They're all so tanky, and now even the Invoker is not a good target anymore. Who do you go on if you're unknown?
Yeah, don't forget, Granny is a Strength Hero. She's the strongest Granny out there.
She is. I love her.
You love me.
World's strongest grandma competition.
The thing is, if you participate in those competitions, I think they will not let your car-sized lizard in.
Invisibility.
Just a thought.
Yep, at least this one is not stuck in a paralyzed pose.
Oh, yes.
I think that was a bit too much to handle.
Oh, bounty.
I think it was a combination of that and it being 3 AM. That was too much to handle for us poor casters.
Yeah, sometimes it's not always black and white. It's a mixture of things. Talking about a mix of things, I think our net worth chart is all over the place. With our Drow is basically sitting in 6th place, almost getting bypassed by a Snapfire. LC a couple hundred behind the Tide Hunter. Good old Tide Hunter versus Kunkka matchup too. Lore-wise would be funnier, but match-wise, at least when you look at the lane, the Tide was ahead in CS, but the Kunkka is the one pulling a lead.
Greedy does, like, he needs to do everything for his team right now. He's the only obstacle there is to G-Pride just rolling over Unknown right now. So they frontline with him for the bottom tower. No Ravage force there, so now he defends top and is presumably going to rotate into mid, trying to mirror the movements of G-Pride as much as possible, trying to catch him with that Ravage. And in the meantime, Argus will just need to keep his spider senses on. Once again, a successful dodge for him, as there is a smoke moving into his triangle, and they're sweeping back into their own jungle right now.
Radiant's middle tower is taking damage.
I wonder if Team Unknown is able to find themselves something here, because Tusk is going to get the D ward, but they also jump on him, and LC is going to be blinking in too, looking for the duel on Moonlight. And they got the Mortimer's Kisses, so the kill opportunity turns out to be a death.
Oh, no mana on the Tide.
Oh, he
Why is
does
he
have,
here?
he has ring and one, but man, this is guy deep. Too deep, my friend.
Couple foes go, Titan.
Too deep indeed. Poor Greedy. Like, I think you should never go there regardless. Like, if the Storm does get jeweled, you're too late. If the Storm doesn't get jeweled, you don't have anything to do there.
Yeah, you're kind of signing the agreement that I'm already dead, so might as well not send any more extra souls, because you know there was no soul to be saved. Yeah, that was actually an accidental punch. Though Jakiro, the Sunstrike's gonna be there, but it misses. The save actually coming out from the Earth Spirit. Moonlight plays a nice one there. Ice Path Ravage. It does connect to the end of the big one from Greedy. Very nice. Genic is also going to be on the run. Greedy needs 6 more seconds for the slow, but Argus is going to be happy to just sit here and farm. LC and Kunkka both dead, so that couldn't have gone better, but I do have to commend this this Earth Spirit with his play. He rolled in and he kicked the Jakiro out of the Sunstrike.
Yep, and that sets up for all of the Macropire damage later that actually allows the Ravage to get the kill. Now, of course, they have once again spent their big threat, so if G-Pride keeps up the aggression, Unknown is going to get punished for these 2 very important kills.
The last time they used Ravage, 8 kills went in the way of Gorillaz-Pride after, so the clock is ticking. We've got 100 seconds to get more.
We are in a bit of a different situation now, though. With most of the outer towers being down, there's actually more space on the map for G-Pride to split up and farm, and more space for them to get caught off if they go on more adventures into the dire side of the map. So you do see teams often slow down here, especially when they don't have good aggressive vision, because the kills don't present themselves as naturally. You know, when somebody TPs into their tier 1, you're like, oh, yoink, I'll scoop that up. But right now you need to walk quite a bit to get some unknown heroes, so maybe this time they won't get punished as harshly. And I say that as Kara is looking for another duel opportunity. Fishing between the trees.
Kara in front, Genic, Tayo, Dismar all sitting in mid, potentially looking for somebody to farm that mid wave. They know that somebody's going to be defending either this one or the next one, but Unknown also kind of, I think they're going on in comms right now. Don't go to mid, it's a trap. There's also a ward on the other side of the sentry. That's a really smart one too, because I don't think Dismar sees it. Yeah, they have no way to actually find this ward out here because there's too many trees in the way.
Radiant's bottom tower is being attacked.
So much info given. So much info given for Unknown. And they even see them walking into the Roche pit. So right now I feel like, hey, they're going pit, they're going pit. So Earth Spirit's going to be smoking them up. Can they get there in time is another big question. It's taking them so long to get on the move. Finally, 5-man smoke comes out. Roche is at 3,500 HP. They use the tech team for it. Little Shredder kicks in for the minus armor. They still need a few more yards to close in, and they have to blink Ravage. Timing might be impeccable here. 700 left, 500 left, 200 left. They need to go in right now with the rebook on the roll. The Ravage is going to be on 3, and the Ice Bat's going to be there with a snowball save. Everybody kept alive for a little bit longer. The duel comes out onto the Tidehunter. They will lose Genek first, but the Mortimer's Kiss is flying in as well, and they will take down Dispar. But Greedy also falls. They finally get the Tidehunter out of the way. Moonlight is the next one to drop and make that a 2 for 2. They were just a bit too late, and Feeling is dead too. G-Pride, they dodge a huge bullet. That's a tank-sized bullet that they just dodged, and still turn it around into their favor.
A ballistic missile.
Could say that too.
They're 2 seconds away there. If Unknown does not hesitate on the draw there, they can actually turn that around completely. I think you lose 4 heroes there if the Ravage comes out just a second earlier.
That smoke took so long. Like, they were talking about it, but they weren't making direct movements toward the Roche pit. They were walking to cluster and clump up as if that smoke has like a 100 cast radius. It could have just, you know, been as they were, smoke up as 4, one hero falls up behind.
But I think I know what took so long, because it's a debate about if G-Pride doesn't take it too fast. I was worried about that as well. Like, between the tag team and the little shredder, you actually have a lot of tools to bring the Roche to half HP very fast, and then it takes longer. And then Unknown is like, alright, I think we can still do this actually.
Yeah. I think there's 2 things to that. Like, I agree about the thinking, but there's also everybody still alive. The Ravage is up. You're kind of like, we have to rush this one. Since we don't see them anywhere, they might know we're actually doing this. So if we do halt on this one, if they did halt the Roche attempt, that would have gone for Team Unknown. That would have been perfect for them. But since they just zerged it from 100 to 0 with every ability that they had, it made a big difference. And also they had their spells on cooldown by the time Roche ended, which was a bit of a worrying factor for Gorillaz-Pride. Like, hey, we don't have Tag Team, we don't have Lil Shredder. We just used both of those onto Roche, and there are big damage abilities. But not to get stuck on that for too much, where these are always if situations. A tower tier 2 for a tier 1. Obviously not too great for Unknown, but they have to take something.
I'd say that you're happy with it. Again, as long as you can keep your dewarding game up, it's pretty beneficial to just take enemy towers, get more dark space on the map, try as you might to dodge what you can. Argus has a pretty solid record of that, and he actually has a Shadow Blade right now to aid in his sneaky farming endeavors. Good damage as well.
There was a Silver Edge lined up on the Drow earlier on, so I think he's just holding on to the Shadow Blade for now, recognizing that BKB is a must-have. He even sees the Kunkka. Kunkka might have actually seen the Drow, and that's also the Shadow Blade being shown. Not enough damage to kill this guy exactly.
Oh no.
He's still got 8 armor, despite those procs removing the base armor. Smoke up from G-Pride towards mid. There's some heroes on the other side, but they don't see Unknown unless they straight up charge the high ground, and they get their smokes popped. The silence, the rod comes out from Dispar, and the duel of the Earth Spirit, but they will turn it around with the Ravage. The jump in from Soul, and look at that nice grab. They will take Genek, they will take Kara. Now Dispar and Teo standing their ground. They take down the Earth Spirit, Feeling dropping low, and they got Bybus coming in. Both the Tusk and the Earth Spirit coming back in for round number 2. And now onto the Snapfire. Neo is getting kited. Kunkka finally popped the BKB. There's a Cookie stun onto the Drow Ranger. Drow Reaps needs some really big backup here, but they can't save her. Now that's a lot of damage missing. Soul with that Aghanim's. Another grab on 2. Takes down Dispar, Feeling with another Liquid Fire, trying to keep Kunkka slowed down so that Kunkka can't hack them all away. Greedy's gonna have to sack his life as he gets thrown back and forth. Tag team also gonna be working his way through. And that, in the end, still stays on Gorillaz-Pride's side because they can't burn out the Aegis either.
Great understanding there from Unknown that the only way that they get to lock several people down at once is if the LC is engaged in the duel, which does in fact put her in place. So that is a guaranteed double.
Oh, Snowball comes out. Good attempt from Soul. Tries to do a cheeky play to burn out the Aegis. But sadly, Kunkka just got the armlet toggle before the Vortex connected. Good attempt. M.
times I've left here.
Okay. That
Oh,
just
well.
happened. That just happened. I'm not sure if that was tactical or a very badly misplaced armlet, but that happened. Age is gone. He's got back to full HP at least.
Yep, full mana as well. Oh, Argius, yeah.
Yeah,
His
fast
spidey
retreat.
senses have been on point, but man, he feels so bad every time he leaves, and that's gotten him caught once or twice anyway, because he knows, well, I guess I'm not dying, but I'm not farming either. What am I doing in this game?
Yeah, you would love to be in the position Tidehunters in right now, farming bottom, pushing the wave. He's just sitting on the high ground, waiting for the creeps to arrive. Like, yeah, you can take that tower, but just let me have those creeps, right?
He's got him.
Is he gonna deny the melee creep away from him? It's like 1 CS less for you.
Radiant spotting tower under fire.
Oh, he pops his Shadow Blade. He's that scared. There was nobody
As he
left.
should be.
Healing. Combo coming out. Sunstrike. Yep.
This way.
That is why you are scared. But at least now Argius gets to farm this this top wave for free for a bit. It's also a difficult one. He's got no damage.
Oh, really got found?
Tidehunter. Yeah, they got the duel on him. They should be able to kill this Tidehunter. There's not really any way for him to escape. Snowball's there. Blink cancelled again. He's got the Anchor Smash to keep them out, but there's also Moonlight being chased, so they get the Earth Spirit, and they're just using these heroes to buy some time for the Drought to farm. Like, I'm sacrificing myself for the greater good. He's so hard to kill, though.
That plate mill really doing work. This is actually very high physical damage.
Yeah.
A lineup now that we're going into the mid to late game. Makes the Tide so bloody tanky.
Radiant's
Yeah.
middle tower
I have
is
some
taken
graphical
damage.
bug because I can't actually see the plate mill giving him any armor. I just see
Oh.
6+2. It should be +10.
Should be plus 12.
Should be, yeah, should be +12 in total. Well, we're 25 minutes in. Jakir just lost 50% of
Oh,
his
they found
HP
the
pool by
drought.
standing on the high ground, and they found Argius. Oh, that's also going to be a dual victory. That's the first dual victory for Kara. The first one. That took some time.
Wait, what?
Yep,
I
that's the
thought that
first
the
one.
first one was a win as well. Like, I saw that everything else after that wasn't, but I thought he'd at least had the first one. But no, you're completely right.
Nope. Nobody actually has won a duel in this game until 25 minutes. And a quick kill on the Earth Spirit in mid. Silver Edge used for that. Ayo is the one to lead the charge onto the high ground. Roche is going to be up in 55 seconds. They can just get themselves racks and straight to Roche they go again. Nolan has been showing some power. I do love this pickup on the Axe and the Storm Spirit. But they need the Drow for the actual damage. The control is not necessary. Oh, Breedy's trying to cast Ravage there. He cast cancelled it twice, I think. Argius finds Tau. Tau gets slowed up. But this Drow's not doing any damage, Kips.
She is not... Like, usually you hope that you'd at least have the levels to get to your level 3 marksmanship, but she has neither the items nor the levels.
No items, low levels, no nothing. But at least you have a team. Teamwork makes the dream work. Is that what they say? Is that what makes Unknown work? Are they no longer an unknown team? They've got Kara in mid with an Invis rune who's about to pop every single smoke. 1, 2, 3. Sentries are down. Oh, he thought it was smart. He just walks into the ward, so he actually ends up dying. Trying his luck. Testing his luck a bit too much there. Didn't know about the smoke pops, but he does find the gank train. And instantly runs into vision. Roche is up.
Being attacked.
Shard is there.
Radiant have fortified their towers.
And I don't think G-Pride would mind losing their mid tower here too much because they have that outpost to TP to the Roche with. No need to risk their team here into a Ravage. So they will just let this middle tower go.
Radiant's middle tower has
Let it go.
Radiant's middle
14,000 gold ahead. No racks taken yet. A tier 3 removed from Unknown's base. And Unknown, they have found themselves the final tier 1 tower to remove out of the map. So now it's just tier 2s for them. Everything still available for them to recover. Get back into this game, depending on how long Gorillaz-Pride wants to take. They did manage to shut down this Drow completely. That was something we did expect. We talked about that in the draft, that if Drow doesn't have a lane, Drow might not have a game. But at least the Storm Spirit has been working hard. Roche falls, and Snapfire seems to be given the Scatter Blast shard. Also, Kara does have to press the attack too, so I'm not sure who got it, but they have 2 shards active, nevertheless.
I imagine Kara already bought his. It's a vital ingredient to actually going high ground, especially with melee heroes. Be able to purge off any of the disables.
Yeah, and being able to have that quick blink BKB. Now, look at this move.
Smoking
Kunkka,
in.
the high ground greedy, is going to be finding a lot of heroes. A roll in from Moonlight. Tornado wanted to. Tide Hunter
Drow is
losing
exposed.
a lot of HP. Neo just hacks down the Drow in 3 hits. Sunstrike connects on 2. Kunkka gets a triple. That's the end of the game right there. That's a 4th death right there. This Kunkka's out of hands. Kunkka with Alacrity, with all that damage. Whew.
Oh boy.
That man is a freight train.
He is, yes. And if you're aiming for like a 30 to 35 game end, safe lane Kunkka is about as big of a unit as you can get. Look at what a monster this man is.
Alacrity, press the attack. Alright. You do your thing.
Radiant's bottom tower is being attacked.
Well, I think we can agree the game's pretty much over after that. Unknown,
Yeah.
they had an idea, but they just didn't take the... They just didn't press the R button fast enough, so they kind of allowed G-Pride to react.
I think that would have been very hard regardless.
It was very hard regardless, but it's kind of like you have to do it.
Yeah.
Dire's bottom tower is
A lot of desperation plays at this point. Kara blinks in, still gets the duel out, but again, the meatballs will be there. The Tide Hunter gets blown to pieces, so jumping away as their buildings are falling. Moonlight tries to roll out, but the blink from the Tusk cancels that roll out. Fuels into the air, Sunstrike connects. Teo is now single-manly, holding 3 heroes at bay as Soul gets killed by the rest. And GG's called. It's a 30-minute perseverance battle for Team Unknown. I think, Kips, we did see this a mile away, that Gorillaz-Pride was so far ahead, already in the laning state. Drow completely shut down. Storm, despite having a good start, some good farm picked up. Invoker's still ahead. And the Tide Hunter, the guy who had a good lane, he was also quickly depraved of his good start.
Deprived indeed. Yeah, I like the plays that Unknown Team actually came up with, like the understanding of, okay, if we want to get value out of the Ravage, we need to let the Jewel go off first so that they actually clump around and make sure that, you know, we have several targets for the Ravage instead of them all dodging us, for example. It was painful because you nearly always lose the hero to that Jewel, but they got a couple of good fights with that. They did a lot of nice dodging and weaving on the map with Arceus, but as much as I want to praise all of those plays, those were certainly desperation plays as well. And it was only ever to hold them in the game, and it would never get them to take over. Their one shot was at that all-in commitment from Gorillaz-Pride on the Roshan. Like, I think we could have actually had a game on our hands if they pulled the trigger on that smoke, on that Ravage 2 seconds earlier, but sadly they did not. And that was it.
That was pretty much it. I mean, there was just a big difference between these two. The draft was pretty neat for Gorillaz-Pride. Like, they had good control over it. Last pick, Drow. Would there been some better idea for them to pick up their last pick? It did feel like, well, it's either a one-trick wonder, but because the way Gorillaz-Pride just played was fully focus, 150%. Just find the Drow, kill the Drow, focus on this hero, and we shall win this game. We shall take it for ourselves. They did. Now Gorillaz-Pride, they just need another one to keep themselves in the top battle for that Division 1 spot. Do we see Unknown Team strike back? We'll find out after the break. Ladies and gents, we are live once again with SA DPC, continuing with Gorillaz-Pride versus Unknown Team. That first one, I don't think it really left too many question marks in the air. Who has came to play, who has arrived into the server for the Unknown Team, had their moments, but there were very small moments compared to what Gorillaz-Pride just showed us in game number 1. So wonder if the course is going to change, or do we stick to the same direction with this second game, Kips?
Dire's back.
I feel like Unknown Team, and it sounds so cliched, right? But they need to take a little bit better care of their lanes in the draft. And then afterwards, honestly, probably the all-over defensive strategy was a good idea. They had the completely correct read that Gorillaz-Pride was going to run at them. They did. They had a couple of nice defensive plays, but not enough to actually properly turn. And I think that if we see
10
any kind of
seconds to
life
pick.
from Unknown here, it has to be a turn. I don't think they can improve magically
5
enough through the
seconds.
draft alone
Hurry,
to
hurry.
not have Gorillaz-Pride in a position where they're going to run at them. That's a given. So, yeah, I guess give me another Tidehunter as well. Why not? That one looked pretty good for them.
Well, we might as well just straight away snap into the draft. So I wonder. Whoa, yeah, I was wondering why we did not have a Steam transition. There we go. Obviously wanted to do it the nice way to like it look good for all you people watching at home. We are still in the first banning phase actually right now, as the Snapfire and the Co-op have been removed. The snap for understandable reasons for Team Unknown. I was like, well, this hero basically made our laning stage a nightmare. So refigure your lanes. We're gonna take a gyrocopter first pick. Okay.
Okay. We have seen this a lot of support, but we also know that Unknown Team is an IO team. And they
Only
might
10
just look
seconds.
to go back to their old tricks, get themselves an IO Gyro.
5 seconds.
They used to pick
Hurry.
IO Medusa in the first phase a lot. IO Gyro happened as well. They've done IO Luna in the past. So it would fit the playstyle that they're comfortable with. And I guess that would leave the previous game as more of an experiment in styles. I don't know though. Like, you want to run
Dire
IO
team are
into
now
a possible
picking
Nyx pick here as well. Into, well, Gorillaz-Pride are just going to go straight for the Tusk here. Tag team,
Radiant
great
team
versus any IO combination. And then the Bane. I don't actually think you want to pick the Ball of Light here anymore, unless you really feel like you have no other way of playing the game for yourself.
Radiant's
I guess you
back.
can snap the Fiend script with Relocate on the Gyrocopter, so that's one way to look at it, since this Bane just removes Gyrocopter out of play completely. And Tusk, well, understandably, Genic, he had free reign. Wherever he wanted to go, he would make things happen.
Only 10
That's the good
seconds.
side of the Tusk. It kind of, when you see the Tusk, you can't run away from a
5
battle.
seconds remain.
You're going to get caught by shards, you're going to get hit by snowball. If you're in melee range, you're going to be tag team slowed and taking heavy damage. So wherever you are, you're always forced to fight. So you might as well draft against the Tusk appropriately, that you have readies who are heroes who are prepared to answer the call to battle, or the call to arms.
Well, Spirit Breaker definitely does. From anywhere across the map, in fact.
10
And
seconds to pick.
I'm thinking that the readiness with which I picked it up kind of indicates that the
5
Gyrocopter was a bit of
seconds.
a bait
Hurry,
here.
hurry.
This might just be a support Gyro. Gonna see SB and
Radiant's
a
back.
more brawl-heavy lineup. I wonder if they're planning to actually go toe-to-toe with Gorillaz-Pride, which would be... Well, I'd like to see it, but I would not like to be coaching it.
So, as we go to the second phase, what would you like to get out of the pool? Stick with
10
the same
seconds to
heroes
pick.
that Unknown got rid of, or something from the previous game? Was there any
5
core that really
seconds
felt
remain.
like this can't be in the game?
Most of their bans were protective of their Tide pick, right? And I think with the Monkey King ban here, this is, of course, a signature. Well, not quite a signature, but it's a good hero for now. It really suits his melee medium core kind of style. I think they're
Right.
mostly protecting their possible core Spirit Breaker here.
The way
Radiant's
Unknown
banned.
drafted last time was
Still IO
they
ban.
banned Mars, OD, Ursa, Monkey King, Leshrek.
Mhm.
I can understand the this Void ban, but I feel like Gorillaz-Pride should have maybe been banning Void Spirit because of the Bane. You get Agonyms, you have this AoE silence to break
Only
the
10
channels.
Mm-hmm.
5
It
seconds
is hard to play a Void Spirit into the Bane before that though, because you run into the Storm Spirit problem, right? Where you're an initiator and you immediately run into this brick wall that does not die, will disable you, especially when you're far out in front of your friends.
Dire's ban.
Now the Ember out as well.
Soul has played a plethora of heroes though so far, and his best ones have been the Ember and the Void, and they decided to ban both of them. So we still will not get to see the Invoker either, nor the OD. So that's 4 mid heroes actually banned. And now when you look at the list of heroes remaining, Queen of Pain is there, the Puck is there. Oh, sorry, the Queen is not there either, so that's also out. So Puck looks like the best mid hero right now, unless you want to look for Kunkka. And now the Lesh is also through the draft. So there's our 3 mid options for either team to go for. But Gorillaz, since they have that first pick before the double from Unknown, they bring out the Mars to go along with their lineup.
I like this read. They're saying, hey, you're banning out all of these mid heroes that can actually get out of the arena? Well, don't mind if we do then. So Mars, combined with the Tusk, actually has enormous ganking power in this game already. And it's going to be very hard for Unknown Team to find heroes that are not going to suffer from the arena before getting their BKBs up. We don't see a lot of Juggernaut these days. We don't see a lot of Lifestealer these days. Both heroes which are very hard to pull off right now. So this smells like a good Mars game to me.
Well, Mars is good with canceling the Spirit Breaker's charges at least. He's not really able to escape either. But we're looking at not... If you don't get the IO, might as well grab something with a Heart Dispel. So Abaddon, you've got your shield to remove the Fiend's Grip. Also the Nightmare. I do like to see this Abaddon pick every now and then, but honestly, the best results have came from the best teams who play Abaddon, not necessarily the bottom end or the mid end teams who play Abaddon. I haven't seen too much success from them, so if Unknown is able to pull out a really good Abaddon here, I commend them highly for pulling out an amazing victory with this hero, because it's such a good hero, but it always seems to fail, you know? Not to down talk, but that's just how I see it.
No, what you need in order to combo up well with an Abaddon is a core player who knows how to make the most out of the extra space and the extra reach they've been given. And that is actually very hard, and you do need to practice that. You need to have a very good feeling for how much extra gas you can add. You need to add for the fact that your position 5 or 4 is not going to do anything for you this game apart from sit behind you and go like, come on, I know you can do it. Let's go, Gyro.
But that's the thing. When you're looking at Abaddon, this hero is very hard to play when the situation is even. And especially if you're playing from behind, you feel useless because you also have to sacrifice your life but still be able to save your allies. If you're able to pull yourself ahead, that's when an Abaddon really gets to shine, because his game is so easy to play and he makes these huge plays by removing the stuns because your teammates are already tanky enough to survive the onslaught. So I like the Grimstroke pick here. Grim Spirit Breaker, one of the 3s, if we look at Spirit Breaker, Grimstroke, and hopefully a Darkseer, we'd have an amazing wombo combo for Unknown, but I already like these 2 together.
Yep, the extra speed really adds a lot to that Spirit Breaker, combined with the stun on going in, means that you can wait with your ultimate depending on the situation, and on your bash luck.
Assassin.
Ooh, Templar Assassin though.
Good luck breaking the refraction. Nobody does that right now. Inkswell, maybe. Yeah,
Inkswell is really the only way. I guess Rocket Barrage as well, but that means that your TA is already on top of the, or your Gyrocopter is on top of the TA, and that's where she likes him. So,
Dire's ban.
I don't know. Hey, there's your Puck.
Yeah, that's another mid ban. How many mid bans have we seen? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Technically, Monkey King used to be a mid sometimes, so 6.5. Make that 7, 8, 9 potential mid bans. Yep, that's the 7th. That's the 8th. And give us a 9th mid ban, please. Let's not just play mid. Let's just play tri lane, duo lane, and leave a lane open.
This is Tao's entire hero pool, basically. And I like, by the way, that we're talking about Templar
Only
Assassin as a
10
safe laner.
seconds.
I do expect that that's what it is going to be. She's going to have a pretty nice
Yeah.
time up
5
versus the
seconds
Spirit Breaker.
remain.
Because yeah, hard time breaking the refraction.
Yeah,
Just that
and-
the early levels are always awkward to her.
So this is the situation. Do you ban the Kunkka? Do you let Unknown pick it? Because Soul has played Kunkka. He will take it if it's not banned now. So if they ban the Kunkka, we have to scrap everything. Soul has actually played mid Spirit Breaker, so don't forget about that. That actually it says on his hero list, which is very surprising.
And it would explain some of the absolute bonkers mid banning here. I was already thinking about that in the second phase. Like, okay, maybe they are banning mid because this is actually an SP mid. And they're just removing any possibility
Right.
of the enemy mid capitalizing.
So we're looking at a position 5 Gyrocopter, a mid Spirit Breaker, a carry
Team
Abaddon,
pick.
a 5 Grimstroke, and who's our pause 4 for Unknown? Because Pugna banned.
Pugna. Wow. We've barely seen this guy get picked.
Pugna gets banned. It's like, what
Well, sure.
do you look at? Does Gorillaz-Pride just go something like
10
PA,
seconds to
Sven?
pick.
They could go Sven. Neo's played Sven. He's actually played PA
5
too, so
seconds.
both of
Hurry,
those
hurry.
could fit into the draft nicely if they want to put TA mid, for example. They could, but it's still safe lane. I like the TA versus Spirit Breaker matchup in mid for the
Entire team
TA.
allow picking.
That's why they picked the Luna. So that's a mid Spirit Breaker. It has to be.
Mm-hmm.
Support Luna, though? Carry Luna? Support Gyro?
It should be carry Luna, support Gyro, but that leaves the Abaddon as the offlane. They can
So
still
it's an
swap
offlane
it around,
Abaddon.
right?
10
Yeah, they could.
seconds.
They could. Wow. Wild draft. Wild draft
5
Unknown. I
seconds
give you that.
remain.
They have been swerving very hard to pin down. But sometimes when you do that, when you just being clever and you keep on switching your own plans up, you just get lost in the sauce, you know?
The
Oh, yeah, there's the Lash.
Alright,
There's
That
the
is
Lash.
see what the
That was
damage
the ban
is.
that Unknown did not want to get let through, but it still went in. So, mid Gyrocopter for Soul, carry Luna, 5 Abaddon, 4 Grim, and a 3 Spirit Breaker for Greedy. So that's the way it's going to be in the end. Mid Gyrocopter. Your thoughts on that? Is this going to be the Spellcaster Gyro with a Kaya Rush?
It should be, in my opinion, because you have this Abaddon behind you, right? And you need somebody to meet up with this Spirit Breaker for the Spirit Breaker to play towards, because the Luna is going to be sitting in the jungle farming. So this Gyrocopter is going to have to do a bunch of playmaking and frontlining. And if you go to regular greedy build, there's no camps for you to farm, right?
Yep.
So completely agreed with that. Unless he finds some other way to fight his way towards an Aghanim Scepter, it's still a really good damage boost. It's just
I watched my friend on Discord play a mid Gyrocopter, and he went for Kaya and full magic build, max out Rocket Barrage, and it's kind of like a run at people, kind of like a build. So you have like you work on spell amp and spell casting on Gyrocopter. Flat Cannon is meh. So everything is just about hitting them with spells, and I would like to see that, because then it would all align with the storytelling from us that we see this Luna being the one focusing on the farm, and Spirit Breaker runs around on the map. You point to a target, Gyrocopter's going to be there with the Spirit Breaker, and you kill, murder, slaughter.
Yep. The absolute worst thing that could happen to Unknown this game is that the Spirit Breaker is on an island. He's the only one who does anything, and both the Luna and the Gyrocopter are farming while the world ends around them.
Talk about a perfect sequence for a apocalypse story. But an apocalypse is upon them if they do not win this game, because they are out of Division 2. Definitely. If this one is going to lead into a defeat for them. Nothing's going to be saving them. So might as well pull out a draft where everybody's calling out, I want to play this hero, I want to play that hero. This draft might not look like it makes sense, but there is some sense behind it. There's some storytelling to go and to do. Because if this one wins, that's definitely one for the books.
It sure will be. And I feel like we haven't focused on G-Pride that much in comparison, but really what is there to say? They once again have this run at you lineup. They have the Leshrac to take out the towers, the TA to take out Roshan, and to do the man fighting. And this Mars still has a really great Mars game. Like, Nobody on the side of
30
Unknown can
seconds.
escape the arena. They only have the Abaddon as a possible save for in it, but Aphotic Shield has such a short cast range.
Need BKBs, you need BKB Luna, BKB Gyro. That's basically the way that they move in and out of the arena. But until then, Mars is a free game for like at least the first 18 minutes.
Well, let's find out. My eyes are going to be firmly affixed to this mid-gyrocopter. How is Soul going to pull this one out of the hat?
Well, this gyrocopter's definitely got he's got a lot of bullets with him. If you look at that model, he's got a big sack or a big chest of shells. I'm not sure if those are empty shells or if they're actually filled ones. He's got this machine gun built up. If only gyrocopter actually did like 3 right-click damage, but an attack speed of 0.01, that would be amazing. You have like this zero action going on.
That is a great concept, actually. I'd like to see that.
Kind of like with
So
techies,
first-
long attack range, low damage is kind of like the idea of having like a mortar cannon, kind of. Highly inaccurate, but you can shoot far away. So obviously you have to scale down the damage a bit, so it's not too OP.
And don't underestimate the laning capabilities of the the actual gyro here, by the way, with the homing missile. This is very, very, very annoying to play against. And provides a lot of harass damage and a lot of just free time in this lane, especially as long as the Lesh doesn't actually have the resources yet to shove it out into the gyro's face.
Now that I think about it, I really want to suggest this plan to Valve, so we could, well, if they heard us, you know, end up making a hero concept with that. The next hero have that base attack time basically removed completely.
It's also not allowed to build Maelstrom.
Right. Yeah, you gotta have some. You will basically be breaking the game files at that point. So obviously, a unique hero concept would have to require some changes into the files. But imagine if you actually right-click for 3 to 4 damage. You can't even break TA refraction shields. You can't break blink daggers because you're doing so few damage.
Man, I really want to work this out now instead of watching the game. Don't tempt me.
Okay, we'll have to leave that for some other time. But this is like you come up with the most stupidest idea at the wrong time. It's kind of like when somebody's you're in church or something and you're not supposed to laugh and you just feel like you really need to laugh right now. Try to keep a straight face then. We're gonna call a 2-minute pause, or a pause on the 2-minute marker, more like. Since we got an S in chat. What is that? Or is that just a smiley face? You know, on MSN Messenger, a .S looks like a smiley who's kind of feeling sick.
It's the
Kind of feeling sick.
old stuff.
Yeah, good old stuff. Remember MSN?
I do, actually.
The times you would spam online to offline so that the person you had a crush on would probably, hopefully notice you.
Don't call me out like this.
Oh, trip down memory lane.
Oh my goodness.
It does look like we do have a 2-minute pause, actually, because we're taking some time to get our action back running. But in terms of lanes, CS is being led by the gyrocopter, currently up at 10. Teo following up with the Leshrac at 6. Still has an entire creep wave, or half a creep wave at least, to deal with before the next one matches up. And he gets the other one at least out of these two. Any specialties in this gyrocopter yet? Doesn't look like it. He's just picked up a bottle. I would love to see the Kaya first. Boots of travel would also be a necessity. Or phase boots to keep up the movement speed.
Yep. I think the magic regen is the most important for this type of gyrocopter, right? Might also be looking for a falcon blade. We're going to let Soul teach us here.
Yep. They could probably work out, but Dismar picks up the first blood. He caught the Abaddon inside the Nightmare. Kara Spear not needed this time. Bane is able to handle that all by himself. That's kind of the weakness of this Abaddon too. Bane is already great at trading, and then Abaddon, he feels super weak at most times. He's got fast movement speed. Those are not his boots, by the way. Those are Arceus' boots brought to the Luna. He's got fast movement speed, but he's only got 3 armor and a fairly squishy HP pool for a strength hero. At least at the early levels, he feels very weak.
And the only way that you get to play the lane really is you bully with the Aphotic Shield for the first couple of levels, ideally 3, and after that you're going to have to sit back, do the pulling, hope that you bought enough space that your carry can handle most of the front line.
Okay, that's Neo was trying to keep away from the Spirit Breaker, but it is the stroke of fate that takes the T8 down in the end, and there's a triple tip coming out, both from his teammates and from his opponents. Made it too easy.
I guess the big problem is that he was already low on resources, because at level 3 this is usually where the laning problems of the TA start to abate.
Yeah,
I guess he's gonna be happy that he's back to full health now.
Low on HP, hiding in trees, then you finally get to have this big creep wave that you want to farm, and the opponent's not giving away with all the harassment, so things suddenly take a turn for the worst. Also getting some denies in between, so slowing down this TA. Unknown off to a much better laning stage. As we're talking about, that feeling is low on HP, and he gets killed by the creeps. Kara's the one to get that one. Lucent Beam, Arceus nicely. Quelling Blades down the tree. Gets the kill on the Mars. A lot of people would have just walked under the tower and tried to be desperately killing this guy.
Now he's in trouble again.
Arceus is a player. But, oh, this Mars might just win this duel. Fairy Fire comes out. The heals are going to be there. He's down to 5 HP. And he ticks down. Was that a range creep right click that actually... was it a melee creep who picked up aggro and killed the Luna from a mile away? But it definitely wasn't the Bane right click that killed him. Gyro
No,
also
I wasn't
dead.
watching it. I was watching now go too aggressive on the Spirit Breaker and almost die again. Now he's so low once more. And his Tusk is roaming again. He doesn't even have the salve anymore.
And there goes the refraction. And again, we've seen this one before. They're really tipping this guy. I'm not sure if that's the right way to go. If they do push this TA off edge, pull out a pretty good lead for themselves, and in that case, tilting the opponent might work out nicely. SA definitely known for their banter. And now onto the Soul. Gyrocopter they go once again. Genek tanking the tower. Soul has not got enough regen to survive this one.
Yeah, and listen, the TA doesn't really care to get shoved out of the lane. Because she recovers in the jungle, right? This is not actually her problem. She's just here for the levels, man. So it's hard to tilt these carries in the laning stage when they're just going to have free form after.
And I guess that's what they also recognize here right now, is even if TA is losing her lane, they're not trying to salvage it anymore. And Arceus inside the arena. Nicely dodges Kara at least, but is it too much? Still walk too close to the edge of that arena. Drop too low. TA dropping down in the top lane. Refraction charges 2 remaining. 1 more to go. Greedy doesn't get it out, but the salve pops on the Spirit Breaker so that they're able to dive under the tower. And they get another one, and it's a killing spree now on this Grimstroke. Genek is TPing in, setting up for a kill. They're gonna do it with... no, they can't do it with the TA. TA's got no teleport for another 17 seconds.
No, so he's just here to soak up the experience, I guess, and... Moonlight actually nearly finds him there.
And we've got 3 heroes on top. Arceus has rotated top, as they do see 2 heroes in bottom, Dismar and Kara, both here. I'm going to start to siege this tower. Charge onto Genek. Kipspul's going to be there, but a nice dodge with the snowball. Still taking a heck of a lot of damage, and another bash comes out. Spirit P is not able to survive this one. They even brought the Abaddon here. Let's make it 4.
It was nearly 5. Sol was actually making a move towards top lane just to be there in order to save them when the, or like to come in as the big hero when the teleports come in, right? But I don't actually think G-Pride has any intention of rotating for now. They have another arena on the Mars, but they've got bigger fish to fry.
Yeah. Bit unfortunate there. G-Pride, they do manage to get the tower first. Team Unknown The unknown team finally working their way with this top tier 1, but it's still up and running. Now looking at net worth, we have a double lead for Gorillaz-Pride. Mars at 4k, followed by the Lesh, and looks like Lesh is going to find a kill too. A big battle, breaking loose in the river. Feeling takes down Tao, and Feeling's going to be the last one up. And he's also killed as Greedy fell before him, making it a 3-for-1 for Gorillaz.
Abaddon didn't even get his aphotic shield off on anybody there. Like, that could be a big difference maker when you're in a close quarters battle. You have the max rocket barrage, you want the Jared to stay alive, but...
And Moonlight. Make that 4.
Yeah.
Potentially. As soon as the Mars shows up, that's definitely going to be kill number 4. Now Spirit Breaker's charging in. They're drawing a line. Luna, can you please join us? Luna, can you please join us? It's kind of like Arceus doesn't want to, but might have to. Tusk being caught in the Nether Strike. Oh, the nightmare. And now Luna's almost there. Is she coming out the wrong way, though? And Tusk TP's away. Ay, ay, ay.
At the very least, they got the top tower down, so there is a little bit of space, but by the positioning of this Gyrocopter, he's going for the Veil, so that's how he's going to do the magic damage.
The magic
build.
damage, yeah. So
Yeah.
start with Veil. I like that. No need to rush the Kaya right away. A lot of people might go Kaya Sanj just because it's such a good hero, such a good item right now. A lot of pros have been praising that Kaya Sanj is probably going to be the item to meet the nerf hammer in the next patch.
Yep, Kaya Sanj Armlet.
Lesh and Tusk making their way towards top. There's a juicy, juicy Luna waiting.
And they've got to go on Dismar on bottom, actually. Silenced as well.
Alright, so that's a trade kill. Arceus, very good job with the juking work, but enough is enough, says the Lesh when he pops his Diabolic Edict. So they might have killed the Bane. They lost their carry in top.
Is really not worth it.
Radiant's top tower is under siege.
Still a 2,000 lead for Gorillaz-Pride, and it has been escalating in their favor in the last few minutes. Are they going to keep the course running? Because Greedy and Moonlight, they're going towards top. Potential fight, but Luna's got to be
Not
careful.
again.
Snowball comes out. Lesh is going to be there to get the split earth to connect, and the stuns are nicely connecting. Arceus doesn't get the Mask of Madness, but a turnaround from the rest of the squad makes it a 2-for-1. But again, Arceus, this is when they've been tipping Neo. They've been tipping Neo from the start, basically, since the first 6 to 7 minutes. Now they're not responding to those tips. They're not throwing any voice line banter really into the in-game because they just lost 2 heroes, but they killed the Luna again.
Yep. And that means that now has leapfrogged over Arceus.
T8's hit back. Neo
Nah.
saving him.
Yeah. Tip your teammates.
Your teammates.
Healthy attitude, that.
I think that was kind of a tap on the back, kind of like, you got this, man.
And why would I waste my tips on trying to get my opponents down if I can lift my teammates up?
I see he's a man of culture.
Man of culture indeed. There is a Veil on the Gyrocopter and they're just gonna smoke with it. They have to. Every little item timing counts.
Feeling is gonna not be detected. There's no vision. They did spot the Tusk, and Tusk might just be the target they have to go for. Tumbler throw away. They don't even want to go for it. And now Kara finds a lone Grimstroke. Everybody left, but the Grimstroke wanted to commit. Just not reading the play here with the Grimstroke. That's kind of frustrating as well to see, like, they already gave up, and still they leave him behind for a kill. So that's a bit of a miscall. Greedy, where is he going? Feeling is being charged. Charged technically. Tusk is charging in his own way. Mars is also there. They're right under the tier 2 tower. So the fight doesn't break loose either here. So we're thinking ahead of ourselves. But at least map control has been gained by Gorillaz. Half of Abaddon's HP gone.
They're trying to safeguard their triangle here, but the Ancients have already been blocked. There is nothing to gain here for the Luna.
Luna's not enjoying her time. She's the highest farmed hero right now, and that was the plan for Unknown, to get Luna to hit all the creeps down. And she's only got 73. I don't think we're going to be hitting same numbers as Deraccio did on PA earlier on today with Team Tickles. That was 23 minutes and 322 CS.
What a beast.
I'm not kidding. It was 3-2-2. But they won the game.
Qualified to the major.
What major you say? DP's coming in. All down is used by Soul, trying to burst out this Leshrac, which is going to be priority number 1. But a difficult job indeed. And Mars is tanking this Soul Gyrocopter, not worrying at all. Feeling, trying to throw in some heals. They will lose a second hero, and they're still up on G-Pride. Now Argius, does he try to turn around behind the trees? Because they do have the vision advantage. But Kara goes in. Eclipse is going to be hitting the jungle creeps instead. And not the right targets right now. Gyrocopter goes down. Arceus is going to be hunted as well. Genic is going to be relentless with this charge here. And they take down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's a team wipe. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, indeed. And that was really the only shot that Unknown had. Get the veil onto everybody and then eclipse them down.
Tips, 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 tips.
Yeah. Just tip now.
Neo has
I mean,
got
he was-
so many shards this game.
Incredible. Like, he wasn't even there. He doesn't need to be there. And he knew it all along while he was getting tipped on the top lane.
Yeah, I mean, that's the best part, right? Your teammates are tipping you, even though he's not even in the team fight, and he's still the MVP somehow. Think about that. Global hero.
Kenneck just toying around with feeling there. Hopping down the cliff with his little Tumblr's toy.
Charged. Almost gets the Nightmare off of the Spirit Breaker, but not quite. Small sigh of relief. They close out the support kill on the Bane. Genic has just gotten rid of a Sentry Ward. They saw the Tusk move around inside their own triangle. But for Gorillaz-Pride, I think their plan right now is hit the timing on the TA. Until then, let's just chill.
I'm going in for the Blink Dagger next. Presumably after that it is Roshan time.
Nice dodge. You see that?
Kenneck gets the word. No, I did not see that.
So the Spirit Breaker was charging towards top to the creep wave, but he ran right on top of the Tusk, so Tusk used his snowball on the small cap. So the charge went through.
Fast fingers, and now?
Soulbind on 2. Kara coming in from the side. Fresh arena to catch 3 heroes. He says no, because he wants more. Well, he catches 1, but it doesn't even land the spear. But Gyrocopter very, very low on HP. And he is taken out. And Greedy is charging on the arena walls. Let me in, is what he says. All right, now that arena only coming down. And G-Pride, they're hunting them down. But that shard doesn't quite connect, allowing Unknown to disengage out of this one. Gyrocopter killed. Gorillaz-Pride heading over to the Roche Pit.
I believe we've already said this, but it's such a free Mars game, and this was a perfect illustration of how much this arena does for Kara. There's no counterplay from Unknown.
Greedy wanted to follow up all the way through, but this Mars is hard to kill. Kenneck, he's moving in with the smoke. They found Moonlight. Now Soul also on the other side of the tree line where Genic is. And now they've spotted the Abaddon. Abaddon wants to go in with Greedy, charging onto Leshrac. Remember, this is the hero who doesn't have the Aegis that is on the TA this far. Gets the Fiend Script, gets cancelled by Argius. While Spurfrick is still looking for the Nether Strike, and they get it, and they've got the kill on the Lesh. That's a big one. And Unknown still fairly healthy. They just left the Luna all by herself there. Everybody wants to kill the Tusk, and they just left the Luna. Imagine if the Mars actually blinked in and jumped on the Luna meanwhile.
Mars was low though. Like, but
Mars,
that's
he's full. So
he is now.
He was making a long run. Arceus tries to TP out in a situation which is not necessarily the best attempt. No really much of a choice. Now Gorillaz-Pride, they can do whatever they want right now. Soul's being hunted. He attempts. He definitely gave it an attempt, but the downside... Oh, look at this. Look at the toying.
It's kind of get what you get for your team tipping earlier, isn't it?
Yeah. Kara misses the spear and feeling. Misses the God's Rebuke from 1 meter. Neo is returning the tip as well on Kara. So does this bar. Tusk does to the tower. Greedy charges in. This is a goofy game.
Yeah, I mean, this entire fight started with a 3v5 from G-Pride.
Yep. And how many kills have they given ever since?
But the Tusk died, eventually.
Yeah, it's a couple. Yeah, the graph hasn't still even finished processing what the heck just happened, so we're gonna have to wait at least 1-2 minutes until we can see how many kills we actually got on both sides.
Radiant's top tower is being
Aegis is still up.
There's no reason for Neo to slow down, and no reason for Jeep right here to do anything else than abuse themselves until they can press into the base.
Dire's middle tower taking damage. Radiant has lost their top tower.
Tusk, he's found Arceus. Vayne is moving in. 2 heroes to fight 1. Tusk
Radiant's top tower is
initiates onto Arceus. Tries to slow her down. 10 seconds for Eclipse. Soul is actually moving in. Did they wait a little bit too long? Rocket dodge. Ismar. Find the Tusk in the end, and they also got the Grimstroke hailed away, so at least the Bane is able to walk out. But a kill, nevertheless. Meanwhile, Teo, look at him destroying a tower without showing himself. Such skill. Wow.
Wow.
Radiant has
Now.
lost their top tower.
Takes the top tier too.
He does, and now Arceus is going to look at this bottom tier 1. I'm not sure if he... Well, maybe he'll get to because he's
Ooh, nice arena. Beautiful from Kara. Catches 4. Soul's going to be the first one to drop as this Lesh keeps up that battering ram, which is also known as the Pulse Nova. Feeling dropping down in the arms of his T8, and that's 3. That is quick 3 kill. Sorry, that's quick for 3 for 1 because this part did buy back.
And they saw Arceus on his ward on bottom. They know he's still here.
Yeah, that ward is really paying off now.
Radiant's middle tower
Lesh
is
has a
being
blink
attacked.
even.
So what all of these blink daggers do is not just make sure that you can catch people, but it's also allowing you to keep up. It's a lot of movement speed, right? So it allows you to keep up the tempo of the game even when there is when a lot of towers are down early on.
Rocket. Nice nightmare dodge there. TA still has 45 seconds. TA did not buy a blink, did not buy a BKB, went Axe instead. So she's got this global presence. Fiend's grip onto the gyrocopter. What you gonna do about it? Inkswell with the Nether Strike. They're actually gonna get this kill on the Bane. And TA lives with 250 HP. Where does she want to go next? Because she does have psionic projection. Could go anywhere. Teleports top.
Both going top.
That was Neo's last TP scroll.
He can step anywhere. There's a trap on a cliff. I'm sure he wants to go there. Top lane.
Yeah, plenty of trap placements.
Radiant's bottom tower under fire.
And most importantly, all of these traps placed down in the top and the mid lane and in the jungle,
Radiant's bottom
that's
tower
not
is
only
being
just
attacked.
vision, but mobility for the TA. So I think Unknown know by now that this TA can be anywhere.
For example, Arceus just got spotted walking into his triangle.
Arceus is so close to his BKB. He's got it now.
Blessings upon a loyal warrior.
possible
Game changer. Possible.
possible. It will allow them to finally get a good veil into Eclipse off,
Dire's
but
top tower is being attacked.
with the BKBs over on G-Pride being so close, I kind of doubt that it's actually going to work out for them. They have one shot.
Moonlight keeping away.
You died.
Dismar
Yet
almost
your
able to get the TP
failure
cancel.
lives
On the other side, though. Tusk just went in. So, Genek will start the Catalyst. He will be the first one to drop, and now Teo and Neo both going in. Spirit Breaker's going to be there. Feeling does use the Aphotic Shield to remove the first stun, but he gets hit by Roy with another one. TA, no Aegis, gonna keep that in mind. Kara throws in the spear, Abaddon gets killed, Teo falls, Neo drops as well. Triple kill for Argus with the BKB. The Fiend Script goes through a full duration, but still an ultra kill, and the Rampage gets denied! Gets denied by the Gyrocopter, but it's an ultra kill for Team Unknown. And they are bouncing back into this game with that team fight. The BKB reveal couldn't have been better. Pristine timing, Kips.
I mean, pristine timing, yeah, but that's all enabled by a Tusk trying to one-shot KO the Abaddon before his ult goes off. Just like, let me try this one out here. No, didn't work? Okay. And then Kara actually commits his entire team by throwing in the arena there and unwittingly dooms them all.
That means a second tower kill for Unknown Team, so you can start actually working your way through this game now. But I guess that was also a an indicator for Gorillaz-Pride not to goof around too much. Obviously, they died one by one, being in a bit of a misplace. Good soulbind from the Grimstroke. Neo already dropped very low on HP. Also, no Aegis available in that team fight. So nothing really went G-Pride's way. Even the arena was kind of ignored with the BKBs. They just walked inside of it and then blew him up. Now those BKBs, we talked about them. Gyro's gonna have his soon too. He's 400 gold short of it.
Only thanks to that fight.
A bit more than that. Soul trying to TP out, gets cancelled by the Lesh, and misses the stun, but it doesn't matter. They still get greedy, and Soul gets wiped out by Neo. TA hits very, very hard right now. Neo's also 500 gold short from having her own BKB. Feeling found in the trees. They want to get this Abaddon. And I guess we were given some false hope for Unknown Team, because right now they're just being hunted down like prey.
No, G-Pride is much too experienced to let a gap fall there. They know that Unknown needs at least 2, if not 3 fights like the one they just had. And without the Eclipse, without breaking up, they can't do that.
Yep, without the Eclipse, without Moonlight, without Feeling. Potentially the start of a good book. For Gorillaz-Pride, they are willing to take some buildings instead. Don't want to end up on moldy pages. Instead, break down the concrete. Charge into Neo. Buyback comes out from the Abaddon too. That doesn't do too much, but it also might enable this fight. Neo able to teleport out. Greedy. His Nether Strike got cancelled by Fog of War. Now TA also has her BKB, and she could just project herself anywhere. And where does she go? Into the jungle this time.
No, the real big story there is the buyback over onto Soul, which means that he now does not have any money for that BKB anymore. He used to. He doesn't anymore. It's a huge setback. And really, Argus here, actually going into the Lincoln Sphere, none of this is damage. This team has a BKB now. They can't kill her while this BKB is on.
Genek walks into the Gyrocopter, and another Freight Blue breaks loose right on top of Greedy. It will kill Genek. They do lose their Spirit Breaker, and their Abaddon seems to be going on a dieback trip. Feeling trying to make a way run out of this one, but there's really no direction out of this one. Gorillaz-Pride, they also spot that Roshan is up. Might as well go there right away.
The good old Roshan Duke. It's a nice attempt, but yeah, with 3 heroes, you're not gonna make your way out.
And 3 heroes dead as well. It's Neo finding Moonlight.
That's going to be another Aegis in the hand of TA. I mean, I don't see how to kill her once. All of the ways that Unknown deals damage rely on this Veil, on the magical damage. So with the BKB, she was already borderline unkillable, but now 2 lives. I don't see how Team Unknown will ever have the damage. So it's really all up to how Neo wants to play this game out. And I mean, maybe Genek manages to bait them into some kind of unwinnable situation again.
Now you look at the TA. TA picked up the shard from Roche, so now she also silences anybody that she jumps on. Make things even worse. And
Yannick found Sol.
Make it work out pretty clean. I was fixated with this Bane buying Yules, which you don't get to see too often.
Radiant's
Definitely not.
But might as well. They need some kind of if they need to hold out their fights just a tiny bit longer, that 2.5 seconds of extra might do the trick. Charge from Greedy into the back. Soulbind connecting onto the left and onto the Tusk. They have the arena down, and Neo charges in the feed script. Seems like they cast it only for a couple seconds, instantly cancelled. 2 heroes already dead. They're going to lose the third with the Spirit Breaker falling.
No damage.
That might just be enough. This Mars is going to be the one to chase him down. They've killed Arceus. They're going to kill Feeling too. Pop his ulti at the least. Abaddon is the last man surviving, and that should be the end of the game. GG's called by Unknown. Gorillaz-Pride, they continue their dominance here in the second division. They will hold on to a 5-1 scoreline, tying it up with the Balrogs.
Yep, and the Balrogs are indeed their enemy to beat here. At least as far as their scoreline is concerned. G-Pride is going to have to face up against Infinity, who are top of the board, no losses yet. If they manage to grab that win, they actually tie up in score with the Balrogs and can force a tiebreaker or even see themselves seated directly into the top 2 and promote if the Balrogs do not make it past Interitus.
Yeah, and Interitus will be the team to play against the Balrogs, so that's going to be their last game. They've not been looking too hot. They have their wins from week 1 and week 2 ever since they have lost every series, so that also makes things a lot more difficult for them. But I mean, this was a fast series, so let's just quickly wrap this one up, since I don't think they really gave us too much to work on here, Kips. This was absolute Gorillaz dominance.
It was, especially when you see how Yannick played this series, how casually he went for the kills that were sometimes, well, not actually a good idea for his entire team. They were just having fun with this one. They were chilling out, now not reacting to the tips at all. He knows he doesn't have anything to answer to. And Team Unknown here with 2 bit more experimental drafts, a bit different from what they did. I hope at the very least they'll learn some things from these games, but... Yeah, the gyrocopter mid experiment not quite working out this time around.
Yeah, I do have to commend them. Like I said in the draft, if they were able to win with that draft that they built up, I would have really given them a big commendation, because there was some fun stuff, definitely some pub experience things, and them just wanting to have fun, I guess. A very hard opponent for them to beat. So, you know, just chilling it out, enjoying the Dota. I guess that's one way to look at it. We will see Unknown Team one more time, and that's going to be on the 20th of January versus Omega. That's going to be their final series. Omega, who has already solidified their spot in the second division, are not going to drop, are not going to advance or promote to the first division. So maybe we'll see a fun series out of that one, at least draft-wise, maybe gameplay-wise, something wonky, something funky. But for us, you and me, Kips, we're done with SA Division 2. I'm sure if you're going to be casting more, but for our part as a duo, we won't be in Division 2 anymore. So for us, we could technically call it a season.
Yeah, this is my last game in SA as well. So the end of the season will be up to others than me. And in fact, I think my last casts are tomorrow. So a bit of an early end to the season for me, but it's been a lot of fun getting to know all of these teams, all of these players, seeing them joke around and fight their hardest. It's been a lot of fun.
Thanks for joining in the ride. You've heard T-Panda and Kips last year, maybe even the year before, but this one is a start of a new one, and obviously looking forward to seeing what is going to be coming out in the future. Hopefully we get to see some majors, I hope, but when we're looking at this, we will be back with NA tomorrow, and that's going to be our final duo cast, actually, for this tour. So hopefully you guys have enjoyed. Do drop a follow at T_PandaDota, and obviously at Kipspul on Twitter. So those are the places for us to be found. Outside of that, you got any last words, or are you ready to drop it out?
I am ready to drop out of here and ready to watch Gorillaz-Pride try to attain the upper division soon.
Soon indeed. Next week's games, decider games. We still have Inverse versus Wolf team tomorrow. Don't sleep on that one. Until then, take care of yourselves. Good night, everybody. Bye-bye.